Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and today we're going to touch on a topic that I guess it's going to be a watch and learn. Touch on a topic that I've done in prior videos. I've just kind of hinted at. I never really made out to think a video wholly about it. I want to talk about a certain kind of screw that is used for screwing links together in watch bracelets, especially because it's long wrist. It's present on the Islander, and I've gotten questions about it, and I want to just clear up some confusion. Let me just tell you that the Your Watch Your Way program is back in action. This is the program where you can pick a Seiko SKX watch or Orient Ray or Mako, and you can, on the Seikos especially, there's loads of options. You can change the bezels, the inserts, the hands, the bracelets, really the crystal, make it sapphire, do a lot to it to customize it, and we do it for you. So that program is back in action. On the left-hand side of our webpage, it says custom watches. Click it, and you'll be brought to the page that shows all the watches that you can do your watch your way. So like I said, today we're going to be discussing just the screws that are used to hold together an Islander, which has become my new favorite brand, of course. So there's mine. I'm still wearing it, and this does not use screwed links. 80s date just. This was my father's. Uses regular pins, hollow end links, all that stuff that you guys will poo-poo nowadays if a new watch comes out like that. So, and acrylic crystal, which really needs to be buffed. I think I'll get that done. Anyway, let's check out these pretty cool fasteners screws. So I've covered many times how to size a bracelet, and you have pins and collars, friction pins, all sorts of stuff. But by far, probably the easiest to size is screws, like that come on the Islander, simply because, well, they're screws. No real special tools needed. A screwdriver with a good tip. You loosen them, you pull them out. You take, you try to even out. If you need two links out, you remove one link from each side. If you need an odd number, you just, choose how you want it to get the, you want to try to keep the clasp centered on the bottom of your wrist as much as possible for comfort. And you have a micro just over here, but, you unscrew it, you take a link out, you put it back together, you put the screw back in, and you tighten it down. So most screws you would imagine, okay, I'm going to pick one up here. This is not from an Islander. Well, not from the newer Islanders, I should say. Most screws look like this. So if we look at the head, I'm going to try to get a screw in this. There we go. The head is a slot right there, right? And then the bottom is threaded. And you could imagine, sorry about that, this goes through the links. Let's get focusing. It goes through the link, something like that, and it threads at the bottom, and you tighten it. Now, what the problem is with screws like this, or also it could have just the threads on the top, and it's just a rigid screw. Either way works. The problem, quote unquote, it's not a real problem, but what can happen is that over time, as you flex your wrist and it bends like this, the screw can actually, if you think about it, let me just open the clasp so we can get a little better look at it. So here's the head of the screw up here, the tail is in here. As you go like this, you could conceivably be loosening it if there's enough friction between the pin and the barrel of the link. Okay, you kind of get that? You think about it. As I move it, I'm trying to loosen the screw as I turn it. This is the reason why your toilet flush lever has a left-handed thread on it, because as you flush the toilet, it actually is tightening the handle instead of loosening it. So similar here, as it goes like this, you can loosen it. So many people either tighten them down very well, which usually works, or they might apply a bit of a thread locking compound such as Loctite, Vibratite, that's what we used to use in the aviation industry, to prevent screws from backing out. The Islander uses a totally different screw. So this is also a screw that's used by strap coach. So this is actually a piece of an Islander bracelet. So you loosen the screw, okay, and you can use your fingertips, but I'm wearing gloves, so I'm going to just use tweezers. You grab the head and you pull it out. Okay, now the bracelet is in pieces. I put the screw down, and you look at it and you go, well, Mark, the screw is, whoops, the screw is gone. Now, you go, Mark, the screw is broken. The head is here, and the tail is here, and it's obviously broken. Look at that. It's flopping around. What did you do? So let's pick it up and see what is going on, as much as we can, of course, right? So these are, I don't know if there's an official industry term. I call them shaker head screws, as does, well, because that's what, most manufacturers call them. What is happening is that the screw is attached via almost like a ball joint to the pin, okay, and it's just a loose connection. Sorry, I had to readjust. I had to get a pair of pliers. But look, I can turn the screw, and I'm holding the pin steady, and the pin doesn't move. See that? So what is happening here? Well, mechanically, we would say that you are decoupling the screw from the pin. This, in my opinion, is genius. Why? Well, when you move the pin now back and forth, if there is friction in the barrel, the pin will just rotate independently of the screw. The screw will remain tight in the link, and the pin will spin or just rotate back and forth. If there's no friction, then the pin will just let the link glide about it. No Loctite is needed. The screws really shouldn't loosen with normal use. I would say if you're riding a motorcycle or something, probably a good idea to use a little bit of Loctite. But that's the whole crux of the video, and that's what I want to talk to you about. These little shaker head screws. I get customers that get the Islander, they size it, 3 screws later, they email and say, your bracelet is a POS. All the screws are broken. Look at this. And then I'm like, no, it's supposed to be like that. So kind of like a public service announcement, this is the way the screws are supposed to be. I probably should add this. People have been asking what size screwdriver they should use for their Islander. 1.4 millimeter works great with a nice sharp tip. Works perfectly. I am working on providing screwdrivers for free when you purchase an Islander. But that's probably still a little ways out. Probably would have been very useful during the quarantine times, but that is something I tend to, I want to do in the future as a value added. And once they're actually under manufacture, once they're done, I will make kind of a mini announcement. Not that it's that exciting, but it does make owning the Islander, I guess, even better. And that'll about do it. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, introducing you possibly to shaker head screws. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Any questions or comments, put them down below, and I will be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.